This is the chart strategy in onsets. I want to make a note before we begin that you should know how to play onsets before you learn the chart strategy. If you're not sure how to play onsets yet or you still have some confusion, you can click on the top right corner to watch the video that I created on basic onsets. The chart strategy is a very useful organizational tool in onsets to help you organize the cards and make drafting solutions easier. So I'll get right into explaining how the chart works, and then I'll explain some of the benefits that it reaps later on in the video. So the chart is like this. It's a 5-column, 5-row table. And these are the axes. These just symbolize nothing, and there's red, red, blue, blue, green, green, yellow, yellow. And notice how there are 16 spots in the middle. This is because each card, there are 16 cards in onsets. Each card goes into one of these spots, and that's how you organize the universe. So if you were to build this chart, so at the beginning of the game, you'd set up one of these charts at the beginning of the shake, and when the universe is set, you'd fill in your chart. So how to fill in the chart is like this. You look at the color. So the first card here, there's just red. So you go to the red column, there's no blue. And then there's no green or no yellow. So this card would go here, and you'd put a check there. Now for this card, there's all 4 colors. So it has red and blue, it has green and yellow. So it would go into this spot here. This card has blue and yellow, so there's no red, so you go to this column, blue. And then it has yellow, but it doesn't have green, so it would go in there. So we're fitting the cards based on which colors they have and which colors they don't have. This is how we're organizing the cards. And you can just write a check for each one in the boxes. And the next one here is blue, red, and green. So blue, red is up here. It has green, but it doesn't have yellow, so it's right here. Because if it did have yellow, then it would be this card and it would go down there. So as you can see here, each card has only one spot it can go to. That's how it keeps this organized. So green, yellow, it's green and yellow here, but there's no other color, so that goes there. The minus just symbolizes nothing. So if there's no red and no blue, it would be nothing. Then blue, here, no other colors. Blue, red, yellow, so blue and red are here, and then it has yellow but no green, so down there. And then the final card has no colors at all, so it would have no colors, so that's the 2 dashes, so that would be on the top left corner. So here is a chart of every card and its spot in the game. You don't have to actually draw the card in the table. You can just put a check to make it simple. But you can take a screenshot of this and just have it handy in case you're confused. And you can just look on here. As you can see, this has blue and no other colors. And like, for example, this one has green, yellow, and no other colors. So every card has its own spot. It's very, very organized. And that's something you want to have in onsets because organization saves time. So how does the chart work? So why did we just do all of that? Why did we just organize the cards? Let's say I wanted to find all of the red cards. How many red cards would there be? Well, in the chart, it's extremely, extremely simple. You just look at the 2 red columns here and you count the number of checks. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that simple. Very, very simple, very straightforward. What about green? For green, there is 1, 2, 3 green cards. If we look at the green row, and the answer is 3. Once again, very simple. Red and blue, or red intersection blue. You can call it intersection or you can call it and. Either way, it wants the cards that have both red and blue. So if we look at both columns, the cards that have red and blue are this middle column here, the red-blue category, and there's 3 there. So once again, very simple. You don't have to look at the cards at all. You don't even need the cards at all. You only need your chart, and that's going to be on your paper. Next is blue or green. So blue or green, or you could call it blue union green. Blue or green is how I say it. So any card that has blue or green is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. So the answer to this is 6. Yellow prime, so the cards without yellow. So let's look at the yellow section. So we don't want these cards, so we can cross them off. And how many cards are left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, it makes things very simple for you. Green minus red. So let's look at the green section here, but we don't want the red cards. So we're going to cross off the red section here because we don't want cards with red, but we still want cards with green. So there's only one card that fits that. So the answer here is 1. And then finally, here's the more complicated solution. And the chart really shows how complicated solutions can be very simplified with this chart instead of you having to look through the cards and doing this. So red and yellow. So let's start off with red, yellow. Cards with both red and yellow. So there's 2, as you can see right there. Prime. So now we don't want these cards. So we're going to cross them off. Now we're subtracting blue. So these cards are all crossed off too. And how many cards are left? 1, 2, 3. So now finding solutions with the chart. So in the real game, you're going to be given a goal and you're going to have to find solutions with the chart. How would we do that with the chart? So let's say we have a goal of 4. I brainstormed some solutions, and these solutions are pretty simple by looking at the chart. So the first one is yellow or yellow. That's just all the yellow cards. So very simple, look in the yellow category, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it, that's 4. Now what about red prime? We don't want the cards with red, so we're gonna cross them off. So how many cards are left? 1, 2, 3, 4. That fits the goal as well. Universe and red. So universe is all of the cards, all 8 cards. Universe and red, the cards that have both universe and red cards. And we can see that is the overlapping together, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a bit more complicated. Universe minus yellow prime. Universe is all of the cards. Now what's yellow prime? Yellow prime is these cards because they're the cards without yellow. So if we're subtracting these cards from the universe, we're left with the cards we originally crossed off. So we're left with these 4 cards that were originally yellow. So the last one here is red or blue minus green. Once again, a little bit more complicated, but it's very simple with the chart. So red or blue, that's all of these 6 cards here, but we don't want green in any of those cards. So let's cross off the green and we're left with 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the benefits of the chart? Why should you do this strategy? Well, first of all, you can organize the cards in your paper because on the universe, on the table or the desk or wherever they are on, they're not going to be organized by color or anything like that. They're all just going to be randomized. They're going to randomly draw some cards and put it on the table. So you can organize them on paper. You're also allowed to interact with the cards on paper because remember with those checks and with the crossing off and there were those colors, you can do any of that on your paper. You can interact with the cards and make things easier for yourself. The chart also allows you to see multiple solutions for the goal. Like as we saw for the previous goal of 4, there were some pretty simple solutions that we could immediately see with the chart. And then finally, the chart allows for more complicated solutions to be developed. The chart, since it organizes the cards so well, it allows you to create solutions that have more complexity more easily than if you were looking at the cards themselves on the table. And you can try this out more, but you'll find that the chart will be significantly helpful in allowing you to create more thorough, complex solutions. So here's the first drill. It is to just simply fill in the chart. And we will go over the answers and momentarily pause this video now so you can do the drill. So let's begin the answers. The first card here is red, just plain red, so there's no blue, and then there's none of these, green or yellow, so that goes here. Blue, red, yellow, blue, red here, and then yellow here, there's no green. Yellow with no other color, that's right here. Blue, red, green, there's blue, red, and then there's green, but there's no yellow, so that goes here. Red, green, red there, green there, no other colors. Green, yellow there, and there's no red or blue, so that goes here. Blue with no other colors, that's just here. Red, yellow, red is here, but there's no blue. So then yellow is here, but there's no green, so this works. Green, yellow, blue, there's green and yellow here, and then there's a blue here, but we don't have a red. And then finally, blue, green, there's a blue here, we don't need a red, and then there's green here, there's no yellow needed. So this is the full answers. Here is drill number 2. Drill number 2 has 2 questions. The first one is find 2 solutions for the goal of 2. So this involves you thinking on your own and using the chart to see if you can find solutions for a goal. And I challenge you guys to try to come up with complicated solutions using the chart. And I'm telling you, it won't be as hard as if you were to use the regular cards. So try to find some solutions for the goal of 2. I'll give some examples in a little bit. Pause the video if you need time. Here are some sample solutions. They're in a list here. The comma separates each one. I'll go over the first 2. So the first one here is blue and red, blue intersection red. We have the blue cards and the red cards. We need cards that have both blue and red, and we can see that there's 2 cards that have both blue and red. That fits the goal of 2. Let's look at green minus blue. Green cards, there are 5 here, and we don't want any blue cards in our green section here. So we're gonna cross off this. We're gonna cross off the blue cards, and we're left with 2 cards that are green but are not blue. So that fits the goal of 2 here. Here is question 2. It's the same thing except that it's the goal of 7. So you try using the chart again to this time find solutions for a larger goal. Here are some sample answers. I'll go over the first 2 once again. The first one here is green or blue. So we want cards that have either green or they have blue. They don't have to have both. And we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards have either green or blue. So that fits the goal. Let's look at blue minus red prime. The blue cards without the red cards. So we don't want any red in our blue. So we're going to cross off essentially this middle section here. And now we're going to prime that. So now we're left with 3 cards here, blue cards that don't have any red cards, and we're going to prime that. So now we don't want those cards. So we're going to cross off those 3 cards, and we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So that fits the goal of 7. As you guys can see, the chart allows you to get really creative with your solutions, and it helps you manage the cards easily. And that's something that you can't really do with the cards in the table. You can't really manage them. They're all random. They're out of order. You can't even touch the cards. The chart is just a much better organizational tool. I always use it. I never, ever play Onsets without using the chart. It's my right-hand man in the game. This is the end of the video. Subscribe and turn notifications on to be the first to receive new content. Until next time, see you later.